And now I invite forward Margaret and Sinkay to share with us their reflections.
Good morning, everyone. I had prepared something, and then Tina and Leslie and Mr. Cloud said all these wonderful things, and I was like, I need to refine my speech. There's a lot that I could say, but I really want to thank everybody for sharing their stories, and I hope to be able to get more stories from all of you as I work on building the life and remembrance for my father. It was really important for me to create that. I think it was sometime in 2022 when I think I was writing an article on Mary Barlow, who was a member of the 6888. And I was doing some research on her, and I thought it was so easy to find a lot of information, not a lot, but enough on Mary Barlow, and that my dad comes from a long line of Barlows who had many historical firsts. And I was like, there's not a lot of information about my father on the internet. And I am a child of the internet. And I searched, and I was like, wow, there really is no information about him. And I felt that there was something deeply wrong about that. My father did a great deal, as you've heard, and I wanted to make sure that his historical firsts and all of his many achievements in all of the many things he did for his community were available for people to read about and see on our great internet. So I started building something, and when I spoke to him about doing an interview with him, that was a hard sell for my dad. As Reverend Erica was saying about Micah, I believe it was, to do justice and live humbly. And my dad was very humble, almost to a fault, I would say. He was very not about talking about the many things that he did or accomplished, big or small. And when I wanted to interview him for the website, he was like, well, you're gonna make this public? And I was like, of course, it's a website. Everyone's gonna be able to see it. And he's like, well, how much do I need to say? I'm like, I'm gonna ask you some questions. It's an interview. You can say as much as you like, but yes, it's gonna be public. So it was hard to get out of him a lot of these things, almost like he wanted to be secretive about it. And I thought that was so strange, but he was so not about the bragging. He did things very much behind the scenes. He wasn't always the public face of the things that he did. It was a lot of, he worked on things and he was a part of things, but not a lot of people knew that he was a part of things. Many people said that when they read his obituary, they were very surprised at a lot of his accomplishments. And I thought that was strange as well, because everybody knew my dad. It didn't matter where we were. Somebody was coming up and saying, Eddie, and I'm like, who is that? Who is that? Even when my brother and I had lunch with him, and we were talking about the website that I was trying to build and the interview I was going to do with him, and in the middle of that lunch, someone walked up to us and was like, aren't you Eddie Barlow? And I'm like, it doesn't matter where we are. Everybody knows him. or knows a Barlow in some capacity. And yet, there's no information about my father anywhere on the internet. And it really hit me even more this morning, preparing to come here, that the only information that you would find about my father, if you looked him up online now, is his obituary. And with everything that he has done for this community and everybody that he mentored, that is just not gonna happen for me. So if there's one thing I do well, it's technology. So I made it a point to interview him, try to get as much as I could about him, about his life, his history. And I wasn't able to do as much as I wanted. Just his mood or my health or, things kept getting in the way, but we did take some trips around Hartford, and he pointed out some places he used to hang out as a child and things that he had done and people that he knew. And the more he was talking, I'm like, you knew this person, or you knew this person? And he was throwing names out like Jackie McLean, just, oh yeah, we were friends. And, he'd come to our house, and I'm like, Jackie McLean, the jazz legend, just throwing these names out, like, yeah, him. Okay. So the more he talked, the more I was like, I need to get more information out of this guy. I need to talk to him more. But unfortunately, we just didn't get the chance to do as much as I would have liked. So hopefully, all of you will be able to help contribute to the website I'm trying to build. There were some little cards around. I hope everyone picked one up. I would be really grateful to hear from all of you, honestly. Any stories, any anecdotes, any memories that you have of my dad, especially if you worked with him on different projects or different things that were important to him, valuable to him, that he was a part of, that maybe he just didn't mention to us or mention to me at all, during our interview. I would love to hear from all of you. I would be so grateful to be able to add them to the life and remembrance that I'm building for him. So thank you, everybody, for sharing all of your stories, and I hope to hear so much more from you guys so that I can honor him in the best way that I know how, which is tech, and really build something that I think he would have been very proud of, even though he was very humble. Thank you.